We are now about to go to the bottom of the Bermuda Triangle.
Okay, I'll start your program the system and use the core to repel the magnetic force energy of the Bermuda Triangle.
Are you ready, guys?
Yes, I am ready and confident to take this mission.
Let's do this! For the future!
Active volcanoes pumped gas into the space around each planet. Protected by the newly formed magnetic field, these gases built up into thick atmospheres, creating the air pressure for liquid water to run on the surface. For over 100 million years, both Mars and Earth were warm, wet paradises, primed for life to take off. Then, quite suddenly, Mars's magnetic protection disappeared. The solar wind blew its atmosphere into space, and its oceans boiled away, leaving the dry, sterile red rock we see today.
Hey, what's happening? There's a sudden change in our signal, including to the signal coming from the satellite.
Something strange is happening, I think. I think it's the reason why the ozone layer weakens and results of global warming. And I think it's also the reason of the sudden signal interruption.
What the heck? I didn't have any clue that it will happen to us. Drew, look, the magnetic fields are changing. And the North Pole are mysteriously located in the Bermuda Triangle. How is that possible?
Shucks! What will we do? If that thing continues, the world may be destroyed. We have to do something as quickly as possible.
FT-28, this is Fort Lauderdale.
Do you read me?
FT-28 to Fort Lauderdale, do you have a fix yet?
The myth of the Bermuda Triangle began on the 5th of December 1945, when a group of 5 aircraft mysteriously disappeared.
Even the ocean looks different.
Flight 19 was a routine training mission of 5 Avenger torpedo bombers. The 3-seater Avenger was the US Navy's top ship and submarine killer. It could carry up to 2,000 pounds of ordnance and had a range of 1,000 miles. The Avenger was robust and reliable. The doomed Flight 19 left Fort Lauderdale at 2:10 on a clear winter's afternoon. 4 hours after they took off, they vanished into thin air. Fearing the worst, a naval air search rescue plane took off into the darkening skies. 20 minutes later, at 7:47 p.m., the rescue plane also disappeared. After a massive search, no wreckage was found. and nothing was ever heard from them again. Until now. Over the last 60 years, this mystery has sustained the wildest theories about what strange forces could be at work out here. Legend has it that the triangle covers the seas between Miami, the island of Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, an area of 1.5 million square miles. Thousands of ships and planes have simply vanished. No warning, no distress calls, no wreckage. Cosmic time warps, spinning compasses, and holes in the ocean that swallowed ships have echoed throughout the world.
Guys, look at the monitor! Our compass and our GPS goes crazy as them!
Oh, I see. Our magnetic field has loosened 25% of its force and rapidly reducing.
I think we have to leave this place right now. Something worse might happen.
It's true. If that thing continues to happen, we might absorb direct sun rays, including the ultraviolet one.
In my own aspect, the Earth might extinct few years from now.
No way. That's impossible.
It's possible, Lisa. Look at this data.
For now, let's think of ways how we can survive in space for a long time using geo-engineered spaceships.
Okay guys, let's now start planning on how we can escape in this loop.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1, 0, and liftoff of Space Shuttle Atlantis on a mission to build, resupply, and to do research on the International Space Station.
Houston now controlling. Atlantis begins its penultimate journey to shore up the International Space Station. Atlantis now in the proper alignment for its 8.5-minute ride to orbit, 4.5 million pounds of hardware and humans taking aim on the International Outpost. 30 seconds into the flight. Atlantis almost 2 miles in altitude, almost 6 miles downrange from the Kennedy Space Center already, traveling 500 miles an hour. The 3 liquid fuel main engines now throttling back to 72% of rated performance, going into the bucket, reducing the stress on the shuttle as it breaks through the sound barrier.
It's not that the wildfires ravaging California haven't been covered. Actually, they have.
Of what was somebody's home.
Santa Ana winds fueling dangerous new flare-ups today,
rendering the air virtually unbreathable.
They have never seen anything like this. It is just mind-boggling.
Still, several critics thought the coverage was inadequate, including Dan Rather, who tweeted, "The full extent of this natural disaster hasn't penetrated the Northeast news bubble enough." Turns out he has a point. When the Washington Post's Philip Bump crunched the numbers, he found that cable news coverage of hurricanes, shown here in green, swamped coverage of wildfires, shown in red. So why the discrepancy?
Woo! That gust took me off my feet there.
Maybe it's those hackneyed hurricane live shots, which give reporters a chance to look extra rugged. Maybe it's because hurricanes have the potential to affect a much wider area, which means a lot more viewers. Or maybe it's because the East Coast media is obsessed with the East Coast. After all, if a disaster like the Camp Fire happened around New York or Washington...
Over 1,000 people are unaccounted for. Think about that. Over 1,000 people unaccounted for.
The media might not cover anything else.
Well, I did make that point on radio a few weeks ago, that the fact that this is not an East Coast phenomenon definitely plays into how much coverage, because if it had been, it would have been...
I read that Washington Post piece. I mean, they had the data, but it seemed to me like the wildfires have got...
To stay on the air for as long as possible. All we can say is what we've been repeating all morning. Get to any kind of underground shelter.
I think this time my loved ones had already died by a massive extinction.
I will do my best just to be with them.
Oh, look! There's a beautiful Nebula is coming to our way.
We should explore that nebula and gather some info to learn more on the universe and how it works so that we can survive a little long.
What's that strange thing? It's so bright for us to figure it out. Look! The system noticed that the strange thing have a powerful source of magnetic energy inside.
If only we can use it to save the Earth from the past.
It's never been too late. We can still use it and research about it.
So here it is. It is the core of a star coming from a solar nebula. That could be a star if we fuse all of energy and discover for the next 1,000 of years. I figured out how it works. We can able to use it to improve our spaceship.
What are you waiting for? Come on, and put it in the spaceship, safe and quickly.
Oh my! We are coming from a black hole. We need to avoid it quickly.
In this case, we can change our direction quickly, but we can use the massive magnetic field stores inside the core and repel the huge energy of that black hole. I couldn't feel my body anymore. I have a bad feeling about this.
Guys! Look! The time suddenly slowed down and completely stuck in this vacuum.
Guys, I think we entered the wormhole.
Oh God, finally we survive and get out of that hole.
Am I dreaming? Guys, look. Is that the planet that we lived in the past?
Oh guys, how did this Earth survive the doomsday?
What are we waiting for? Come on and go home to our planet now.
The U.S. Navy has finally acknowledged that videos appearing to show UFOs flying through the air are real. They don't call them UFOs, they call them unidentified aerial phenomena. The several videos they're talking about were recorded years ago by fighter pilots. Then in 2017, they were made public by the New York Times. More now from our Randy Kay.
It's rotating.
Images of that rotating thing captured by U.S. Navy aircraft. Sensors locking in on the target. Commander David Fravor saw it firsthand during a training mission, describing it like a 40-foot-long tic-tac, maneuvering rapidly and changing direction.
As we both looked out the right side of our airplane, we saw a disturbance in the water and a white object, oblong, pointing north.
The object was first sighted in 2004, then similar objects again in 2015. Footage of the sightings, declassified by the military, weren't made public until December 2017 by the New York Times and a group that researches UFOs.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude.
This was extremely abrupt, like a ping pong ball bouncing off a wall. The ability to hover over the water and then start a vertical climb from basically zero up towards about 12,000 feet and then accelerate in less than 2 seconds and disappear is something I had never seen in my life.
The Navy says it still doesn't know what the objects are, and officials aren't speculating. A Navy spokesman simply confirming to CNN the objects seen in the various clips are unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAPs. The UFO reports were first investigated by a secret $22 million program, part of the Defense Department budget, that investigated reports of UFOs. The program has since been shut down, but it was run by a military intelligence official who told CNN they found compelling evidence that we, quote, may not be alone. Randy Kay, CNN, New York.
I want to meet my mom again. I've missed her so much.
No, we shouldn't do that. It could create a time paradox. We should avoid interacting with humans as possible.
Instead of avoiding our loved ones, why don't we seek out for ourselves? In this timeline to solve the problem.
Risa, let's go out and talk to them while there are few people interacting with them.
You tell your team of how am I gonna happen in our future. Then contact us so that we can unite our intelligence to solve the problem.
That we have an idea on how to solve the problem, where we can start the solution and when.
It should be in the Bermuda Triangle, where the North Pole is now located.
But it's too dangerous there. How could it be possible?
We should make a powerful submarine that could survive the massive magnetic field present in the Bermuda Triangle.
Could we alternate the magnetic fields inside the core and repels the Bermuda Triangle? Could we survive?
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. But here's another problem.
What's the problem?
If we successfully entered the bottom of the Bermuda Triangle, how could we place the core without changing or destroying the fields?
I remember when our science teacher says that the magnetic fields are produced by the convection current in the Earth's outer space.
I see. We should place the core of the nebula directly to the Earth's outer core.
Yes, and put it in those should eject the core in a massive speed. The opening of an ocean ridge directly to the magma chamber going to the Earth's outer core.
That's a good idea. Hoping that we can stick to our plan and make the mission successful.
Guys, let's go. What are we waiting for? Let's make a submarine right now.
Good afternoon to everyone. Our team received some information about the Filipino students together with their team has successfully created a motion craft that can survive the mysterious force of the Bermuda Triangle formation to save our world from the global warming and to rebuild our ozone layer that protects us from the direct sun rays. We hope that they will survive and be successful in their mission. This is the Nebula reporting.
Be ready. We are now about to go to the bottom of the Bermuda Triangle.
Okay, I'll start the program with this one and use the core to repel the magnetic force energy of the Bermuda Triangle.
Are you ready, guys?
Yes, I am ready to take this mission.
Let's do this for the future.
I feel the hyper pressure that's pulling my body like hell.
What shall we do now? We should make an action very quickly.
Does the core repelling the magnetic force correctly?
No, I'm having trouble in programming. I didn't expect it could be this hard.
Let me help you, Minzy. Faster, I can breathe. Thank God. It was a good close for us. Alright guys, we should now locate to the nearest oceanic ridge in the place where we can put the car.
I think we found it.
Look!
There's an opening magma chamber.
Yes, that's the ocean ridge. Command and launch the core to the magma chamber.
Be ready for a massive force field experience. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh guys, Risa and Silk needs help. I've gotta go to help them.
Ouch! Oh, I can't see anything. Am I blind?
Wait guys, I think we're not that are blind.
Yes, we just experienced a massive force from the nebula traveling at the speed of light. No, this is bad. The submarine got damaged in the exterior. We need to go back quickly before we completely suck into water.
Okay guys, we're ready to any hazards that we can experience.
Minzy, program the computer. It will fasten the floatage of the submarine.
Your wish is my command, sir.
Okay, do it quickly guys. I'm gonna call for help.
I will call 911 to deploy the evacuation ship near us.
Think positive guys. We can do it.
Woo!
Thank God, we survived that mission.
Thanks to the Coast Guard near around us.
That was amazing but dangerous moment of life.
Does it become successfully, guys?
Well, I think yes. Look at the skies. Sunlight suddenly dim, which means that the ozone layer has been rebuilt and regenerated. Thanks to you guys. I love you all.
We'll find it out in our home and check the satellite about the issues for ozone layer. For now, let's rest for a while.
Okay.
And we've got a signal.
Alright.